Hi guys, just FBL here, welcome back to another video. So in this video I'll be talking you guys through the GW8 team selection, and we did have 1 week off of the Premier League and it's coming back this week, and there is a lot to talk about as I have decided to activate my wildcard for the game week 8. So a lot to talk about, a lot of key talking points. I'll be talking us through each player, so I won't review my game week 7 team as everyone got 0 points and there is not much to talk about then. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So as you can see, the wildcard is active for this week, and last week I did get a green arrow, a slight one because some people did take some hits and it did cost them. So team value back to 100 mil as I did decide to activate the wildcard. And let's just talk you guys through each player, and let's start off the wildcard in goal with Nick Pope. Now Nick Pope, Newcastle, again I feel like they are a really strong defensive side this season. They are ranked 5th best defensively this season, so far this season, and they played teams like Man City, Liverpool, and that just shows how good of their defense and how their defense has improved in the recent years. So Nick Pope, he starts in goal for me, and I think he's the great best keeper option on the wild card. They have arguably great fixtures until game week 16, until the World Cup, where we get again unlimited transfers. So Nick Pope, and if he's getting those clean sheets, he will get you those save points as well. And I think if he gets one clean sheet, a few save points, he will be up for bonus points as well. So he's a great player and he's a great keeper for save points as well. Now I think there are just 2 main keepers I'm looking at currently, which is Nick Pope and Guaita. Now Guaita, Crystal Palace do blank this week and play Chelsea, and if they were playing this week I could consider him, but I think there is not much great value in the goalkeeper spot currently. I think Nick Pope offers the best value around his price and at the goalkeepers unit. So Bournemouth at home, I think again another fixture that I think he can get the clean sheet. Bournemouth have been really poor this season, attackingly and defensively, so Nick Pope certainly expect a clean sheet here, and for the long term I also like his fixtures. Let's start off the defense with Trippier, and I will be doubling up on the Newcastle defense. Now, I don't see this as a double up personally, because I think Trippier, he's a great player, he's on set pieces, and I think he will get you those points. And Nick Pope, for me, I think he's the best keeper currently in the game. Now, I just look at players individually and I pick players then. Now, if you were going to talk about doubling up and tripling up, I will say that this is a really strong double up. Now, Newcastle, again this season, they have been really solid defensively, and to have the 5th best data in the league, and despite playing teams like City, Liverpool, it just shows that their data again is really great. So Trippier, he comes in my team, and at 5.3 he's already risen in price. That just shows he's been really great this season, and I don't even mind playing him against strong teams because he can get those set piece goals, and he's such a great player at set pieces. So I think Trippier, he stays in the team, and with a great long run of fixtures, I think I expect a lot from Trippier, and I think he is the best value around his price point. Next we have Kufau. Now I did play a lot around with the wildcard and I did have a lot of drafts, but recently Kufau has just come into my team. I picked him over Emerson, the left wing back for West Ham. Now Emerson, he's priced at 4.0, and you could say, why don't I go for Emerson as he is 0.4 cheaper than Kufau? But I think Kufau, he offers great value. It just thinks that he's nailed on in the team as the left wing back spot or the left back spot. There is competition with the likes of Cresswell. Now the only competition for Kufau is Ben Johnson, which he is currently injured and we don't know when he will return. So currently Kufau has that right wing back or right back spot secure, and I think he's great for minutes going ahead, and his underlying data isn't the greatest. Of course, he is not that much of an attacking fullback. He's great defensively, and I think now surprisingly West Ham this season has been really good defensively. They are the 4th best defense this season, and that is just really surprising for me. Last season we didn't know. We were all looking at their attack, as their attack have been the key point last year, but this season it looks like David Moyes has shaped up to a more defensive team, to play a 5 at the back formation with wing backs. So it's very interesting, and I think West Ham, with a great run of fixtures until the World Cup, I could expect a lot of clean sheets for Kufau. Now we still have to take into consideration they are still West Ham and they are still a mid-table side, but still I think a couple of clean sheets I think Kufal could be a great option, and I will talk more about my bench later on, as I could rotate him really well with some other players. So Kufal, he's in the team. I did play around with the players, and I think I just really want a West Ham defender. It could be Zoma, it could be Kufal, it could be Emerson, but I still like the likes of Kufal. 0.1 cheaper than Zoma. I think you get more attacking threat than Zoma, and then 0.4 cheaper than Emerson. I still believe Emerson is the better attacking option, but I feel like I just don't want to risk competition, and I think Kufal has less competition in his place. I think he will start every game, so that's why I'm edging towards Kufal over Emerson. Next, we do have João Cancelo. João Cancelo, he stays in the team, and I think, again, for 7.1, you could say, why are you picking a Man City defender for that price? You can get a player like Diaz or Laporte for 0.1 cheaper. The main thing is because he is secured in that City team. He's a nailed-on fullback for Man City. He's almost guaranteed to play every week, and that is such a great thing because, again, City this season, they are way ahead. They are the best defense in the league this season, and we all expected that. And to get a secured way to that City's defense is just really good. And again, Cancelo, he offers a bit of goal threat. It's not that much of attacking threat like last season. His data did drop off since last season, but still he will offer that threat. He will play very advanced, and he will get those crosses. He will create those chances for Manchester City. So I still think he's a great option going forward and defensively as well. So City this season defensively solid, and I think to have a secured way into that City's defense and not worrying about rotation every week. Like if you go for Diaz, there is a slight chance he will get dropped out of the team. So I think Cancelo, he just saves. I think it's worth paying that 1 mil more than Diaz, as he's secured in that City defense and also offers a bit of attacking threat, and I think he's great value at his price point. They play Wolves this week. Wolves again have been really poor going forward attackingly, and their defense is just quite okay, not the greatest defense. So City, they are a very good team, as we saw in the Champions League midweek. They control the game, and they are just that team. I think this year they will dominate the league again. So City, Cancelo, I think is a great option, and their fixtures is quite okay. Not the greatest fixtures, but still they are Manchester City, and we would want at least 2 players from the team. Let's start off the midfield with Kevin De Bruyne. Now, he comes into the team, and I will show you guys another draft later. I have 2 drafts, just 2 drafts, main drafts that I'm leaning towards. It's come down to these 2 drafts, and it's just between the premiums. It's Harry Kane against De Bruyne. But now, let's talk about De Bruyne here. I think he has great underlying data. His underlying data is actually better than Heung-min Son, Sterling, Salah, and Kane. So he has way better underlying data than Heung-min Son. That's why I'm edging towards him, and he does play for the way better team, in my opinion, for Manchester City. Now, him and Kane, the data is very close, but still, I think De Bruyne, he's playing the City team. That the one thing I edge. I think Son is out of the talks. I don't see myself going for Heung-min Son. I just don't want to risk rotation. You have Richarlison, you have Kulusevski, you have Kane up front. There will be rotation. And with Kevin De Bruyne, I'm not saying he will be play every week, every game, 90 minutes, but he's just more nailed on than those other players. Now, Kevin De Bruyne, I think he has built out a very good relationship with Haaland. He's linking up really well, and I think just to have that partnership with Kevin De Bruyne and Erling Haaland in my team would be brilliant. And now playing Wolves away again, Wolves haven't been the best team defensively, and going forward they have been really poor and shocking this season. So again, De Bruyne, I really like him just because the fact that he has great data and he's playing for a Manchester City side. Remember, they are the best team in the league, and they will score goals against weaker oppositions. So I think Kevin De Bruyne, he's in my team currently, but it could change to Harry Kane. So it's a very tight call, and I will talk more about it later. So currently he stays in my team. I feel like I have money in the bank, and I just think he's a great way to go back to Mohamed Salah in the future. Now, ignore the in the bank thing. I do have 1.3 mil in the bank for this draft, so that means a direct switch back to Mohamed Salah is possible. Next is James Maddison. He starts in my team. Look, Leicester, you could say all you want about them. They haven't been great this season, but I believe with good fixtures, they will pick up form. And there is a great fixtures, and after this game week, from game week 9 onwards, Leicester do have a great run of fixtures. And I think Maddison, he is the talisman for that Leicester team. I think Jamie Vardy is aging. I just don't want to go for him, as I think there's way better value in the forward spot, and he's not guaranteed to start. James Maddison, he will be guaranteed to start. He will be the talisman for Leicester, and he will be the main man going forward for Leicester. So I just think his underlying data is not the greatest, I understand, but I just believe with great fixtures, the data will improve. Now, they did play some very strong teams, teams like Chelsea at the start of the season, so it's understandable for his data, and I think I'm taking a huge risk on Maddison for him to improve and for Leicester to improve going forward. And if that doesn't happen, it could punish me. But currently, I'm willing to take risk on my wildcard, and I'm a big fan of the fixtures. I'm a very fixture-proof manager, and if they have good fixtures, I would go for James Maddison. So he stays in my team currently, and I think he won't leave my team so far. Next is Andreas Pereira. Now, he starts this week against Nottingham Forest. I think now for 4.5 mil, you get a great value for Andreas Pereira. He's guaranteed to play every minute in that Fulham team. He will be on set pieces, and he will be a goal threat. So look, Andreas Pereira, he offers great value around his price point, and I think is just a great player. And I think if he was 5.5 mil, we would all be starting him. But just because he is 4.5 mil, we all have a bit of issues starting him, and I understand that, but I feel like he will start this week. Now, Andreas Pereira, after this week, he will most likely be on my bench for every game until the World Cup. So it's a great week to start him, and with teams like Chelsea, Crystal Palace blanking this week, he could cover, and then next week he will come out and move to the bench. So I still think he's a great option, and to start him this week, still Nottingham Forest, they are a very bad defense, and I certainly think there are some goals in this game, as Fulham, they have looked very good going up front. They have looked very solid attackingly, and I think we could see some goals come from this game. So Andreas Pereira, he starts so far this week, and I think he's a great option to start this week. And to finish the midfield, we have Leon Bailey. Now, at the start of the season, we were hyping him up. Pre-season, he was picking up form, and then we all transferred him out. But he comes back in, and is another FPL troll, because Steven Gerrard could bench him. But I'm going to say it, and I'm going to say it again. I think he will get minutes this time around, because with Ollie Watkins getting injured, I see Steven Gerrard changing formation, maybe playing a different formation with the two up front, and I see Leon Bailey starting. He did pull off a great performance against Man City last few game weeks, and I think he will do it again. I feel like he will perform, and hopefully he does. His underlying data isn't that bad. 0.3 expected goal involvement per 90, so it's quite decent, and around his price point you don't expect much. 4.7 against Southampton. Now, Southampton has surprisingly looked solid defensively this year, but I still think Bailly, Aston Villa can break that Southampton defense up. So I'm currently on Bailly, but I just think he's a great enabler in the team, and just offers me to go for players like De Bruyne, Maddison. So currently he stays in my team, and let's talk you guys through the rest. So moving on to the forward, we have Erling Haaland. It's just a no-brainer at this point. If you don't own him, you should go for him. I think he's your number one priority transfer if you don't go for him. He's just too hard to ignore, because his underlying data is just mental, and his underlying data is expected him to get 1 goal involvement per 90. That is 1 goal or assist every 90 minutes, and that's just incredible and mental stats. You saw in the Champions League what he's capable of. His finishing ability is just so good, and I think he offers great value. He should be priced way higher, and at 11.8 mil, playing against a very shaky Wolves side, I just expect a lot from Erling Haaland, and I think he's not a minute risk. Pep did come out and say that a few weeks ago, that he's young, he's fit, and the backroom staff have been really good with his recovery every game. So Erling Haaland, unless something bigger injury happens, I don't see myself taking him out. And secondly, Isak. Now, again, another slight differential, because Bournemouth at home is a great fixture, and every team who plays Bournemouth at home every week is just the number one fixture to target. Bournemouth, a weak team, and with Newcastle in form, I think Isak could get something out of this game. Now, am I worried that he gets rotated when Callum Wilson gets back? No, because you pay that much money for a quality striker, and you're not going to bench him for this upcoming weeks. You won't pay, your record signing fee just to bench him. I think Callum Wilson, as what I've heard, he will move out to the sides, and Isak will play down the middle as expected. But we could see Newcastle play a two up front and with a partnership of Isak and Wilson. That is possible. So currently Isak, he's in my team, but again, he's one of the talking points that I want to talk you guys through. His underlying data is great. I know it's a low sample size, but still he's proven himself and looked very dangerous in the recent games. And to finish off the team is with Mitrovic. I just think he's a no-brainer. His underlying data is so good, and he did have a very poor run, very tough fixtures in the first 6 game weeks, and that just shows how good he is currently. It's a new Mitrovic, and we say every year we hype these players up like a Timo Pukki, a Mitrovic, but I think this year Fulham, they have changed a lot, and I think Mitrovic has better underlying data, and I think Fulham has changed as a team itself. So I think Mitrovic is a great option, a great value, and playing Nottingham Forest, again a great fixture to target. I just see Fulham winning this game and scoring goals easily past a weak Newcastle defense. So Mitrovic, a great underlying data. He's looked really well in the eye test, and I think he's just a no-brainer. Going on to the bench, I have Everson now 3.9. I didn't go for Ward because I think I will play Pope every week unless an injury happens, and I think just saving that 0.1 is more valuable than just keeping Ward. That 0.1 can come a long way, and there is rumors saying that Ward could get dropped, and I just fully expect that I could see that happening because Ward have been really poor, and really poor. I'm saying really poor because he's been a terrible goalkeeper this season, and we could see Everson go into the first team, but he's a great bench option at 3.9 mil just in case Nick Pope gets injured. First on my bench is Kyle Walker-Peters. Now he plays Aston Villa this game week, and I expect Aston Villa to score, but surprisingly, as I said just now, Southampton has looked really good this season. They are actually the 6th best defense this season. That's crazy underlying data, and playing teams like Tottenham, Chelsea, it just shows that they could improve from now on. With a new partnership of Bella Kopcha and Salisu, they could improve defensively. And Kyle Walker-Peters, he has great underlying data going forward. 0.11 expected goal involvement per 90. It's not the greatest, but still 4.5 mil. What do you expect? A way to get into the Southampton defense, and they do have quite decent fixtures, and they do rotate quite well. I will talk more about that later. I will show you guys my plan going forward, but I just think he offers great value. Next is Zaha. He will stay on my bench because they have that great fixture run from game week 10 onwards. They do blank this week and play Chelsea next week, but still I just think it's worth benching him because his underlying data is just great underlying data. 0.79 expected goal involvement per 90, and around his price bracket there's not much players that compared to that underlying data. So he's great value for money, and Wilfred Zaha, I think he will shine. He is the main talisman for Crystal Palace, and I think he will perform well with the great fixtures coming up. And lastly, Reece James, he again blanks this week by again in the Champions League. He did pull off a great performance, and under Potter is looking very promising that Chelsea are improving, and Reece James again playing a very crucial role in that Chelsea side. So for me, Reece James stays in the team, and he will come back in my team next week. So this is my team. Let me guys show you my plans going forward for this team. So this week, let's captain, no-brainer, Haaland, vice captain on De Bruyne. Let me show you guys my draft and my plan. So this is the team. My second draft. This is the team I have currently, and now let me just talk you guys through the planner. So currently, this is the team. This week is how I line up. Game week 8. This is a website called fpl.team. Go check them out. It's a great website. It's free, and just let you guys plan forward. It's a great website to use for planning. So game week 8, this is how I line up. And then game week 9, this is the team. I'll probably bring Reece James in for Andreas. There is even an argument to say to play Kyle Walker-Peters ahead of Bailly, and this is the team, how it looks. I'll roll the transfer. Let's not talk much about transfer plans as we don't know what will happen, injuries and all that. And then this week, I'll bench Kyle Walker-Peters for Liam Bailly because you see, Kufau, Bailey and Walker Peters, I only need one of them to play every week. So they do actually rotate really well. Game week 8, I'll play Bailey and Kufau. Game week 9, they all have great fixtures. And then game week 10, I could play Bailey against Nottingham this week. And then game week 11, Kufau against Southampton. And game week 12, I do need all of them. And they do have some great fixtures. So this is the team. Just ignore the captaincy. It will change, but I'm just really no point to go into that. So this is the team for game week 10. And then game week 11, this is where City play Liverpool, and I'm completely fine with that because this week I could play Kufau ahead of Liam Bailey, and Kyle Walker-Peters could come in for Trippier, and again Andreas Pereira could come in for Isaac. But this week, as we can see here, Bournemouth do have a great run, so I could take Isaac out for Dominic Solanke, and then probably if I want to play Andreas or Walker Peters ahead of Trippier, that's a possibility. And then that's again to game week 12. This is where City blank, and I will probably get Salah back in. Remember, taking note, I have transfers on the way there. It will change, but I'm just in a rough plan. I'll play Walker Peters. Cancelo will come up for Bailly, and it's a looking really good team for gaming. Of course, we have Kufau. We could transfer him out for a 6 mil. That's so much money, and it could change. Let's just say I play Andreas. I have 2 transfers and also more transfers outside. So this is the team that will. So it's just a great team, a great plan. I don't plan too far ahead, but game week 12 is where I ideally want this team to look good until, because of course City do blank this game week. Now again, I can get Salah back in one move, as we can. Let's go back to game week 8. Put 1 mil in the bank, easy. Get De Bruyne to Salah easily, so that is a possibility. Now this is another draft I was talking about. Okay, so this is the other draft. Now this draft, the main difference is Jarrod Bowen and Harry Kane. The main dilemma is KDB and Isaac against Bowen and Kane. It's just these 2 options. It's just I'm really I don't know which one I want, and I'm currently leaning on the KDB option because I think Isaac is a great forward, as he's proven it. Bowen, again, a risky player to take because his data haven't looked great, but he's on penalties and he could change that up with great fixtures, but I don't know about that. The main good thing about this draft is Harry Kane, because in game week 11, where they play Everton, Haaland does play Liverpool, so we could look to captain Kane in that week. He's a great captaincy shout. And then Bowen, I just feel these fixtures, there is something to get into that West Ham's attack. I did look at Paqueta, but I just feel like, I don't want to risk it. You have Cornet, Scamacca, Mikel Antonio, Fornals, Lanzini, Bowen in that West Ham attack, and there will be rotation, and even Benrahma could come in. So I don't know. Bowen did get a rest, whatever you call it, a rest, a benching in the Conference League game today, so he didn't play. So it could be a signal that he will come in back into the team. We don't know, but still, let me talk you guys through this team. So game week 9 again, Kyle Walker-Peters will probably come in for, let's say I want to bench Bailly. I could play Andreas or Reece James again. And then game week 10, I would want Kufau move to the bench for Wilfred Zaha. He has a great fixture against Nottingham. Game week 11, this is the week where they play Liverpool, and Kane's a great captaincy shout. Of course, injuries could happen, and it's football, anything could happen until then. But let's say this for now. The one thing is I have Walker Peters against Bowen, West Ham. It could be both teams score. I'll probably play Andreas here, and I could play Trippier or Walker Peters. But this thing is, I would play Walker Peters this week in the first draft, but with this draft I have Bowen in the team, so it could mean I will be backing on one of the teams to either score a lot or get the clean sheet. And then game week 12, this is the thing I don't like about this draft, is game week 12, they do have some very ugly fixtures. You have Kufau against Liverpool and Jarrod Bowen against Liverpool, which I could downgrade Bowen to someone like a Pascal Grobe. I believe he has great fixtures. Okay, Nottingham Forest, and Man City and Chelsea, and then I could rotate him again. So this is the team currently. 2 drafts is between draft 1 and draft 2. Let me know what you guys think. Do you prefer Kane? Do you prefer Kane and Bowen, or Isaac and De Bruyne? The first draft, the pros of the De Bruyne draft is I can get Salah back with 1 move. This draft requires 2 moves, and this draft I do have a way into that West Ham's attack. The other draft, no West Ham's attack, but the other draft I do have a Newcastle attacker, so it's very close. It's almost a 50-50 call, but I do lean towards the other draft. So let me know what you guys think, and the rest of the players are pretty much nil, probably just between 2 spots. So it's been me, Jess FPL, and maybe after this week during the international break I will make a video covering how they are scoring in week 8, and I'll see you guys till then, and good luck for game week 8. Enjoy the international break, and it's been me, Jess FPL. I'll see you guys in the next one.